Let's go, family. Look at these fucking games. Let's go. Let's lock in, brother. What's going on, family? It's your man, DeAndre Saxon, back for another video, coming to you from beautiful Dubai. Let me give you guys a quick little view. We got the sunset here in Dubai. That's the view from my balcony. Absolutely beautiful. I manifested this view. I manifested this life. If I can do it, you can absolutely do it as well. I want to give a shout out to the community. We're growing. Those of you joining the school group, shout out. We're going to be having our weekly group calls. And guys, we're just growing. And I love you guys watching daily. It's part of the notification squad. You guys are watching every single day. I watch the comments and I'm glad to be serving you. You guys actually give me motivation to show up every single day so I can serve you at the highest level. So without further ado, let's talk about today's video. The dark side of manifestation that most people don't talk about. Everybody wants to live their dream life. Like, I'm sitting here in beautiful Dubai. The sun is literally orange and I'm staring at it right now. And I'm just feeling grateful, but it wasn't always this way. People don't talk about the dark side of manifestation, okay? So you're going out there. You're trying to create a new reality. Really what you're trying to do is you're trying to shift your reality, and you've come to the realization that you have to shift yourself. You know that the outside world is a reflection of the inside world, and that you're trying to elevate your self-image so that you can start to operate from a different frequency and start to attract new things into your life, right? You guys have been watching my channel. We've been talking about this, but nobody talks about the dark sides that's going to come to this. Brother, it's the bullshit that's going to happen to you that's actually going to put you in position to actually manifest. I'm going to give you a couple examples here. Let's talk about my first 7-figure business. You know that before I shot up to a 7-figure business, I had failed in business for 5 mother effing years, like 5 years. But when I took off in my first $100,000 month, by the way, my first $100,000, I made it in like 14 days. It wasn't even a whole month. Like, that shit just took off. You know what's so funny? That I was actually prepared to handle that abundance because of all the skills that I had acquired with all the failures of my past. So as you guys know, that I took off in mindset in my first 7-figure business because I worked with the famous Bob Proctor. But prior to working for Bob Proctor, I was driving for Uber. I had failed at all my businesses. Things were not working out. And I was listening to audio tapes like Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor and all these motivational speakers. And I came across Bob Proctor while I was driving for Uber. And something about Bob Proctor kind of stood out to me. And I started listening to his content. If it wasn't for me driving for Uber, for those of you that are going through the shit right now, I was driving for Uber. And if it wasn't for me driving for Uber, I would have never made 7 figures. I want you to think about that. Whatever problem you're going through right now is literally setting you up for the win. But we think that, oh man, we're going to manifest and it's just going to be some greatness. For every failure, there's an equal and opposite success on the other side. Before you go and have that major win, you will get hit with the setback. It's inevitable, because whenever you're trying to create a new reality and manifest a new life, what's going to happen in the process is your physical world right now is going to crumble. Because think about it. In order to make space for the new manifestation, the old shit has to go away. Think about your closet. If you're going to bring in new clothes into the closet, you got to clear out the other one. But this time, God's going to clear it out for you. The relationships that you thought were going to work out, they're going to start to crumble. That deal that you thought that was going to come through so you can make some money, it's going to fall apart. That business you thought that was going to take off, it's going to fall apart. That business partner that was going to do that one thing, it's all going to fall apart because it's not in your plan, because you can't see the plan God has for you, because you are creating first of all, you're co-creating with God. You're telling God, this is what I would like to manifest into my life. But you don't know how it's going to come. And that is the dark side of manifestation, because it's dark, because most people will quit when shit starts to crumble. But there's something Neville Goddard talks about, which is the bridge of incidents. It's the things that lead up to the manifestation. And typically, almost always, it's in an unexpected way. So how would I know that driving for Uber was the thing that was going to lead me to meeting Bob Proctor that would make me start earning $100,000 a month and change my life forever? I would have never known that. We can even go about a little bit deeper, and I'm talking about my story here to show you guys the actual real examples. I'm not just talking in theory now. Even like how I even manifested the $100,000 months and 7 figures. I originally thought that I was going to make YouTube videos about mindset, attracting clients and grow my business that way. You can go back 4 years in the past and I was making mindset content. about especially when I first started Bob Proctor, because I originally thought I was going to acquire customers through YouTube. But what ended up happening is for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, meaning anytime you take an action towards your manifestation, there is a reaction, but typically it's going to come from an unexpected route. I had this guy reach out to me and say, hey, DeAndre, I see what content you've been putting out. I really like it. Can you come do a podcast, a live podcast, Zoom call for my network marketing team? I'm like, sure, like, let's do it. And I was like, hey, but afterwards, is it okay if I put a pitch for people to work with me? He's like, yeah, cool with it. Bro, he was only used to having 200 people live on a podcast. That podcast had 1,200 people. After that podcast, I dropped my link. I was fully booked out on my calendar for 5 months straight and did like $500,000 in like 3 months. It was crazy. You think about it. Here I was, my goal card, as you guys know, we talk about having a goal card. My current goal card says to earn $2 million a month, okay? I had originally put a goal card of $100,000 a month. I thought it was going to come from YouTube. Remember, that was my original plan, not knowing that it was going to come from some unexpected source, some guy DMing me and saying, hey, bro, would you like to do a live podcast? And that was going to skyrocket me to success. So what we're talking about in this video is that you want to skyrocket, right? You want that manifestation. You want that thing to come into your life, but shit will break down. It must. Especially if you're manifesting, you should actually be excited when shit's not going your way, when the deal falls through, that money doesn't come, you're being squeezed into the point where you're like, what the F is going on? I thought I was trying to manifest and shit looks like it's going backwards. When things are going backwards, that's how you know you're on track. Why is that? Because you're getting squeezed out of your character. We talk about this so many times. Everybody wants to manifest a new level in their life without manifesting a better character. Y'all trying to be a level 5 character and jump into a level 100 mission, and which is your manifestation, without leveling up your character, and you will die every single time. So what God will do, he will squeeze you for many reasons. One of the reasons to see your resolve. Are you really serious about this manifestation? Is this really what you want? You know what? You know how I know I'm made for mindset, other than the fact that I've already had success? I have been squeezed so many times into making this kind of content, like to the point where I'm like, I will do this or I will fucking die. Like, that's how I feel about making this shit happen for you guys and making content. I am so about this. I'm so about you guys. I'm so about the community. Like, there was a point where I was like, I'm not going to cap, but I was like, yo, I either going to make this shit happen or I'm just going to die. Like, I just cannot live. I cannot live unless I'm doing this material. That's how I know I was made for this. But the only way I knew I had that desire was the fact that I got squeezed so bad down to the last hour where I was like, bro, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with my life. I'm just going to say, fuck it. And like, I'm done with this life. Right. But in that moment, God came in and swooped me up into success. But what happened during that moment was I found out that I truly desired this path, that I love making content for you guys. I love mindset. I'm not going anywhere. So you're going to get squeezed through some bullshit to see, is this really what you want? And the second part is to squeeze out the quitters. Are you a quitter? If you're watching my channel, you ain't no quitter. You locked in. You locked in, bro. All the people that follow me are locked in. We are locked in as a community. So you're not going to quit, but everybody else is going to quit. When shit's getting hard and it's dark side of manifestation, remember, the law of polarity states there's equals and opposites to everything. There can't be light without dark. There can't be hot without cold. So that beautiful thing you want to manifest, there has to be a darkness on the other side. And that's what you're going to go through in order to get there. And most people will quit in that valley because they don't see the manifestation. But you've been watching my channel. We've been talking about the unknown zone. We've been talking about the law of detachment. We've been talking about these different things to help you bridge the gap so you can gain awareness, gain understanding, and know the truth while you're going through the trenches, that you will not quit. Think about Jesus, who went through the desert for 40 days. He didn't quit. He had faith. He had understanding. Now, I'm not comparing us to Jesus, but what we're saying is that there's a knowing, there's an understanding that if you do these work and you work with these laws and you go through these trenches, you're not alone. That God is with you. He's testing you. He's testing your resolve, because on the equal and opposite side of that manifestation, there has to be a win, but you got to go through that. And so nobody talks about that dark side. So I want to encourage you right now in this video, brother. If things are not going your way right now, you are on track. I know it because I wanted to quit so many fucking times. You have no idea. Like, I want you to look at my face when I say this. Like, I was going to say, I either make this mindset business work or I'm taking my life. Like, that's how crazy I was about this. And I would tell this to like my grandparents, and they're like, yeah, you're laughing, but I'm like dead serious. Like, I will make this happen. I love this material. And there was a point where I got squeezed so hard and I was like, man, I have nowhere else to go. But instead of quitting, I strapped my shit together and said, F it, let's go. And I did it. And look, everything's popping off and it's going on to the next level. So brother, I've been through it. You're going through it. And if you're not going through it yet, you're about to. Get ready. Get ready, especially if you're watching my channel. Make sure you subscribe below. Especially if you start implementing these materials, shit's gonna start going sideways. And when it starts going sideways, you're gonna say, "Hooray!" Because my manifestation is coming. You're not gonna quit. You're not gonna falter. You're not gonna fold because you know that before that manifestation comes, shit's gonna go sideways. And that's actually the setup to get you to the next level. Stay locked in, brother. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not part of the community now, check the link in the description and join the school group. We have weekly group calls. I have a whole course, the course that literally made me 7 figures that I used to sell for $10,000. I give it to you absolutely for free inside the school community. Not only do you get that course, you get to meet other like-minded men that are locking the F in. You get daily non-negotiables. We have weekly calls where you get to ask me questions. Like, it's just absolutely valuable. So if you're liking my content and you're locked in, make sure you check the description below. Get locked in with me, brother. I'll see you on the Zoom calls, and I'll see you here on the next video. Stay locked in. See you soon.